Welcome to the next installment on how to make money when you start out extremely poor in Skyrim. And hopefully this will work out. Please like and subscribe if you don't mind, because I really would like to get something going so I can get more people interested in what I have to offer as a gamer. One of the first things that you can do, I mentioned before about gathering certain herbs. Another thing that you can do when you're doing all of this is you can collect very carefully. If you've got an axe, one of the best places to go would be like Whiterun, and you go ahead and cut wood. Now that sounds, it's a very slow process, and unfortunately as a slow process, many people don't want to do it, but first time gamers and other people that sometimes get bored with the game, if you're already bored you might as well cut wood, and it creates kind of what you need. For instance, if you're going to do alchemy to make money, which is my primary cause here with this character, you're going to need enough money to be able to, let's say, do the Falkreath quest, which will allow you to buy a house and build on it, which means you're going to need at least 5,000 gold for that, and you get $5 per piece of wood that you sell. So in the end you get 500 pieces of wood. That's $2,500. And if you all you wanted to do was to spend all the time just one day cutting wood, it's tedious, it's boring for many people. But if I were deathly poor and all I could do to make money was to cut wood, it wouldn't be boring to me. It would be something that I would see as a challenge and champion, so that I could get money for my person to survive. So I act this way in the game as well. I don't know how long the video is going to be today because I'm not really keeping track today, but I am going to get up to the 5,000 before I get over to Falkreath as well, and do the quests I need to be able to buy the land that I'm going to require to do alchemy, which, as I've said before, showcases certain things. So let's see how much wood I have collected already, and it's only 18 pieces. That's not much at all. So I want a minimum of 500 pieces in one day. And as I said, I started with a mod that allows my character to be beaten and left for dead, which means he had no cash at all. Anything he's got on him, he collected either through confrontation or selling items that he's collected and stolen so that he could earn cash. Now I suppose you could build a thief to build cash for yourself. When I do things like that, I tend to save a lot, because I don't like to have my character spend time in jail, and I would prefer instead to, I hate to say it, do honest labor, however boring it is for the character, so that he can get everything he needs, or she if I play a female character. And that by itself seems to be I don't know what to say. Many people think that I'm Banjack's broken, screwed, because I spend my time doing tedious labor for characters that have very good money, rather than doing quests and leveling up. But having a character, let's say, who's only level 5 and he's got a house or 2 houses where he's growing crops and earning money from the crops, such as, alchemy and making potions and so on, hinders his leveling up, but at the same time increases the amount of money and coin that he receives. So this video for many is going to be boring. There'll be times when I won't be talking much, which for many people who know me personally offline, that's probably a great pleasure for them. Because I tend to blather on. But in the meanwhile, I'm going to go ahead and just keep cutting and blathering on. I'll have moments of silence where the character will just continue to cut and cut wood and cut wood. And as you can tell up in the left corner, I'm already over encumbered. But I like to get quite a few pieces of wood and just saunter in very slowly into Yosolda and not Yosolda, I think it's Holda. I get those two mixed up sometimes when I'm playing the game. I probably shouldn't because they have different faces and everything else, but it runs together after as many characters I've played throughout this game. My replay time is massively spent just going through the motions most of the time. And every once in a while I'm going to mention, like I just mentioned at the beginning of this, please like and subscribe. The algorithm gets me involved, and seeing that I'm not exactly a young millennial through Z, I'm not a boomer either, so I'm just a not a really casual, but I'm an adamant player of games, but I tend to have learned to play them when I was raising my children before they went through college and university. So, and as of, let's see, July I'll be 60 years of age, so chops and steaks fit for a jarl. Come and see my and so, as I said, I'll blather, I'll go on about things, but if the whole point of this video is to teach you various ways you can start with no cash at all, no coin at all, and do rather simplistic jobs and enhancing your skills to better make you a wealthier character before you're very high level. Because oftentimes when you're high level and you're doing the quests, my kids used to get so upset at me. Why do you want that? Why do you want to earn money but not raise your character's level? Because I can buy better equipment early on. And to be honest with you, I just like to see how I can play the game out of the ordinary. I don't spend a lot of time worrying about the gameplay, because once I've got the character where I want them, then I worry about the gameplay. Then I have fun and I create backstories and I create, future stories. I guess you'd say I kind of project into the future and try to get my characters what their future seems like, whether they're a hero or a villain, whether they're, a dreaded vampire that, likes to slaughter wholesale, or whether they're the listener, and that's a spoiler for those people who've never played Skyrim, whether I'm the listener, or whether I get rid of the Brotherhood of Assassins, the Dark Brotherhood. So, I paint the character from the beginning, and to be honest with you, the less wealthy and the less powerful they are when I start them, I think it builds a larger, more grandiose ending for the entire character. And I can create stories that fit well within the mainline story of Skyrim itself, and yet at the same time have my own unique story for the individual character, and not just be, oh well, I've gotten all of the skill sets set up. I tend to be very specific. I don't tend to go for every skill set. I tend to build characters, but when it comes to money, it's something we can all do. When it comes to the coins, any player who wants to replay the Skyrim system, or is involved in lore, learning new ways to make money and unique ways that may seem boring, but at the same time continuously involve a high turn of coin for the least amount of activity seems to me a very efficient way of handling things. If any of you are writing and want to write something down in the comments, please do. I would appreciate it. Please try to make it constructive criticism, not too much trolling. And tell me if the volume on this is actually working, because I'm not sure sometimes. My microphone set isn't the highest quality, and it's not because I really don't want to save to get a higher quality. It's that I'm still a parent who has one more child left to go through college, and so what they need and what they want comes first. I've already put nearly 3 out of the 4 of them through college, and the 4th one will be coming in this August, and he'll be going to university this August. So if you like what you see and hear, you're not too bored with me, you don't mind my prattling on, and you think I have the gift of the gab or anything else, that's fine. Just chime right in and say something constructive, positive, and I'm more than willing to listen, because if I can improve, I will.
Had enough of fish and fowl? Treat yourself and your kin to a choice cut of steak or a tender rack of ribs.
And those who stick around to watch these particular videos, especially this one here where my character is called Spirit Hunter, the one I'm using currently, you'll see him evolve from a poor person to a landowner to a alchemist and basically hard worker into kind of a spell sword, someone who uses his weapon and uses magic. And you're gonna see a variation on a theme that I don't normally do, because I don't usually use spell swords.
I've spied the two of you talking quite.
Matter of fact, if you knew my basic tenet of this game, I tend to make my characters fisticuffs. I tend to actually like them to punch people and not use weapons hardly at all. I like the cutscenes, number 1.
Chops and steaks fit for a jarl. Come and see my selection of the finest quality meats.
When I can get a decent setup, I'm going to probably also put a little side piece on me that will have my adorably aging face. My lord, you get to see me get uglier as time goes on. $120, that's only about 500 gold.
Chops and steaks fit for a jarl. Come and see my selection of the finest quality meats.
Bits and baubles for sale, all crafted by the best blacksmith in Skyrim.
Tired of bread and stew? Had enough of fish and fowl? Treat yourself and your kin to a choice cut of steak.
After this, I will probably... The next thing I'll do is I'll show you where you can buy the ingredients for making a potion that just 1 point in speech will make you rich very, very quickly.
Finest cuts, fresh from the wilds.
Trinkets for your good lady, all crafted by the great Aorlan, Main himself.
Chops and steaks fit for a jarl. Come and see my selection of the
Bits
finest
and
quality
baubles
meats.
for sale, all crafted by the best blacksmith in Skyrim.
Tired of bread and stew? Had enough of fish and fowl? Treat yourself and your kin to a choice
And when he's
cut of
done
steak
cutting this
or a
side, I'll
tender
go
rack
ahead
of
and
ribs.
turn in some of the actual wood so you can see what his coin was before and what his coin was after.
Shiny trinket
And then
for your
I'll probably do some editing so
Steaks
that
fit for a yarn.
I don't have to have you watch me just cut wood all day. My gold is about 182 gold in his pouch right now, and now he's going to turn in some wood.
All I
hold
can
that,
think
you
about
know?
is my son, my soul. They say that he was killed, but I know better. I know my son is alive.
Sorry about the slowness of the
They're in with the Imperials,
actual
They know
video
it
right
too.
now.
and yet they lied to me.
It's not just that the video is having some problem, it's just I actually have injured my arm as well, so it's much harder to actually run the character
Come on in.
for me.
We got warm food, warm drinks, and if it's work you need, how about chopping up some wood for the fires?
If I were to sell,
Honest gold for honest work. Need any?
and I said 182, if you can see the screen, it has 872 now. Instead of 182, I have
Just let me
872 pieces of gold. I earned 690 pieces of gold just from that one short
A fine
cutting
day to you,
session.
friend. May you die with a
So
sword in
I'm
your
going to take my
hands.
character out and do some more cutting. And by the time this particular video, edited and all, is up, I should have over 5,000 gold, which will allow me to then work on getting the Falkreath Manor, a Lakeview Manor.
By the best
So
blacksmith in Skyrim.
stay
Chops and
tuned, and
steaks
like I
fit
said,
for a yarn.
if you can subscribe, comment, like, I'd really appreciate it. And any constructive criticism without trolling, I'd appreciate it, because I'd like to find out one way or another what I could do more effectively to make you guys more interested.
I don't
And after all, I'm just a new, well, I shouldn't say new, but I'm just wasn't very active on YouTube till recently. So
if they do, promise
just give me a jingle here and there and make a comment. Like I said, like and subscribe. And if I get around to getting a Patreon, then hopefully you'll subscribe there too if you like it enough. That being said, you all have a good day. Probably what I'm going to do is edit this, so you'll probably hear a bit of a glitch where it says have a good day, and then I'll still continue on. But the intention here is to show you all how you can just gather more and more money, and you can start out very poor as a character and work very, very quickly into astronomical wealth. And now what I need to do here is to show everyone that I'm going to do the entire 5,000 gold.
By the best blacksmith
And
in
if I do my
Skyrim.
editing right, you all should see very clearly that you can
The finest
go
cuts,
from very
fresh from
poor
the
to
wilds.
very rich very quickly. And my next phase will be to show you how to get land to build alchemy ingredients that will sell very highly.
Trinkets for your good lady, all crafted by the great
chops and
Eorl
steaks fit for a yarn.
Remain
Come and see my selection of the
himself.
finest quality meats.
This part of the video will probably be very boring because, after all, it's going to be a lot of wood cutting and nothing.
Had enough of fish and fowl? Treat yourself and your kin to a
I'm
choice
not gonna
cut of
converse
steak
much
or
at
a
all.
tender rack of ribs.
So, if you have any problems with what I'm saying or doing, that I would suspect that maybe you could skip ahead on it, because everything is going to go very slow in this particular video.
The finest cuts, fresh from the wilds.
I need trinkets for your good lady, all by the great Aorlan.
And what I'm doing here on the video is not geared towards professionalism. I'm not a professional
Chops and
YouTuber.
steaks
I'm
fit
just
for a
someone
yarn.
who's trying
Come and
to
see
do
my
it and
selection of
help.
the finest quality meats.
Bits and baubles for sale, all crafted by the best blacksmith in Skyrim.
The finest cuts, fresh from the wilds.
Fresh baked loaves, still warm from the oven.
Tired of bread and stew?
I
Enough of fish and fowl? Treat yourself and your kin to a choice cut of steak or a tender rack of ribs.
Great Aorlan, Main himself.
Fresh vegetables for sale.
The finest cuts, fresh from the wilds.
Bits and baubles for sale, all crafted by the best blacksmith in Skyrim.
Chops and steaks fit for a jarl. Come and see my selection of the finest quality meats.
Shiny trinkets for your good lady.
Tired of bread and stew? Had enough
All
of fish and
crafted
fowl?
by the great
Treat yourself and your
Aorlan,
kin to a choice cut of steak or a tender rack of ribs.
When I first played this game, this is how I made most of my money. When I first started my first couple of playthroughs, I spent my time chopping
The
and
finest cuts,
chopping and
fresh from the
chopping
wilds.
until I learned the alchemy. But I wanted, through all the videos that I've seen shown so far,
Bits and baubles
I've
for
been able to
sale,
show
all
how
crafted by the
you
best
can go from being
blacksmith in
0
Skyrim.
septims to what my character currently has, all the way up to what he
Chops and
needs to buy
steaks fit
land
for a
when
jarl.
he goes
Come and see
to
my selection
Falkland.
of the finest quality meats.
Shiny trinkets for your good lady, all crafted by the great Aorlan, Main himself.
I'm
The
hoping
finest
my
cuts,
sound
fresh from the
is
wilds.
nice because I sometimes lose my voice or I lose the volume of my voice. Oh, God forbid I end up with an awkward sounding voice, which, as far as I'm concerned, that's the worst of the lot.
Tired of bread and stew? Had enough of fish and fowl? Treat yourself and your kin to a choice cut of steak or a tender rack of ribs.
Bits and baubles for sale, all crafted by the best blacksmith in Skyrim.
The finest cuts, fresh from the wilds.
Shiny trinkets for your good lady, all crafted by the great Aorlan.
Chops and steaks fit for a jarl.
Main
Come and see
himself.
my selection of the finest quality meats. Tired of bread and stew? Had enough of fish and fowl? Treat yourself and your kin to a choice cut of steak or a tender rack of ribs.
I'll get about another 100 pieces of wood for
Finest
now
cuts, fresh from the
and
wild.
show you that over a course of a week I would do this when I first started playing the game, and I would end up with 5,000
Shiny trinkets
septims so
for
that
your
my
good
character
lady,
could
all
spend his
crafted
time
by the
buying
great
land.
Aorlan, Main himself.
Chops and steaks fit for a jarl. Come and see my selection of the finest quality meats.
Fresh baked loaves, still warm from the oven.
Bits and baubles for sale, all crafted by the
finest
And many
cuts,
people may
fresh from
find
the
it
wild.
foolish, and many people may find it slow. And there's other ways to do it, but one thing that I like about cutting wood is that you don't get any experience for cutting wood, but you do get gold.
Tired of bread and stew? Had enough of fish and fowl? Treat yourself and your kin to a choice cut of steak or a tender rack of ribs. Chops and steaks fit for a jarl. Come and see my selection of the finest quality meats.
Check and see how many I've got so far. 66. As I said, it's 5 gold per piece of wood, and I've got 66 now. If I get 100, then I'll end up with
Tired of bread and stew?
500
Had
gold
enough of
right
fish
there.
and fowl? Treat yourself
And if I
your
were to
kin
start
a
at,
choice
let's
cut
say,
of steak or a tender
7
rack of
o'clock in
ribs.
the morning, by the time 10 o'clock in the morning came around, I'd probably have the 5,000 that I need to be able to buy land in Falkreath when I do the quest that allows me to purchase land.
All crafted by the great Aeon
Chops and
of
steaks fit for a jarl. Come and see my
himself.
selection of the finest quality meats.
Bits and baubles for sale, all crafted by the best blacksmith in Skyrim. Shiny
And I can't say it
trinkets
enough,
for your
please subscribe and like,
all
and
crafted
if you
by the
can,
great
please
Aeon
put
of
comments down. I would like to be able to read some
himself.
comments and find out what you all think of it. If you can, spare me the trolls, because it's just not in my mindset to just keep continuing on arguing with trolls for the rest of the time. A bit of a sore throat as well, so if I sound like I'm ready to cough or something, it's because I probably am. Make sure I hit that 100 spot first. Oh. 4 more pieces of wood and then we can do that. And obviously this is slow and it's boring, but the whole point of this particular video at the start of it, before the character gets really established, is to tell people how they can get their money from starting with 0 amount of funds and not needing to use mods to garnish money or items and things like that, but literally be able to start from scratch, work from scratch, and do what we need to do. So I'll run over here, over encumbered, and turn my money into hollow. it seems
Come on
very
in.
dull
We
and
got
boring,
warm
and to be
food,
honest
warm
with you,
drinks, and warm
it
beds.
can be.
Well met,
But
traveler.
I'm looking forward
I enjoy
to all
this
the
work
other
well
things
enough,
that
but
I
I'm
can
ready
gather
to
from
retire.
having money, so
Honest gold for honest work. Need anything else? Just let me know.
You know what's wrong with Skyrim these days?
I earned 510
Success,
gold right
death.
there, which means currently I'm at 1382 gold, and I only need 5,000 to get to.
Mister, could you spare a coin?
She distracted me, sorry. I only needed 5,000 to get Falkreath's land and be able to grow a garden at that point, in which case I can switch over to alchemy, and then I can show you all the places where you can pick up some of these. So I'll save right here. And we'll go from here, and I'll see you in another episode of this, so you can learn, do more. As I say with every episode, please like and subscribe, and please leave a comment. I'd greatly appreciate it. You all have a good night.